Good afternoon. The participants of the CSTO are cooperating in joint mechanisms. Our foreign ministries, our parliaments, our security councils are all in partnership. We have consultation meetings where we work out matters associated with military issues, defense issues, etc. We are perfecting quick response, collective measures, various peacekeeping and aviation forces, and carry out exercises to keep them prepared and carry out exercises and other measures to train our forces. The CSTO operation in Kazakhstan in January helped stabilize the situation in the Republic, and Mr. Tokayev expressed his gratitude for the support of the CSTO, and I'd like to use this opportunity to once again congratulate him on this very remarkable victory in the elections, and I'd like to wish him success in all the various reforms that he's planning in his country. So we can say that the practical experience we've received during the CSTO operation in Kazakhstan has been analyzed, and Russia fully supports the important decision that has been made to equip our CSTO peacekeeping forces with new equipment and special equipment and arms. So the decision that we are going to make today associated with new systems of communications, various radiological and biohazard protection systems, are all measures that Russia does support now. We are expanding military and technical cooperation between our countries, and the Intergovernmental Economic Commission of the CSTO is a part of that process. Our intelligence services and other services are cooperating in the fight against extremism, terrorism, illegal migration, drug trafficking, and are working together to defend against various environmental disasters, etc. So we are all united by our work to defend the mutual history of our countries, the history of our nations, and the mutual history of our victory in the Great Patriotic War. This is a very important issue that we are still focused on. But of course, while we have a lot of progress, there are still some issues to overcome. And it's obvious for us that joint work within the CSTO provides very good positive results and protects the sovereignty and independence of our countries. I agree with our colleagues who say that we need to still focus more on the issues associated with overcoming and resolving the Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict. This is indeed an issue we must focus on, and that's why we believe what was very important. What was very important is the summit in Sochi that housed negotiations between the conflicting parties, and in the joint statement that was issued after the meeting, all the parties involved expressed their commitment and reiterated their commitment to the agreements that have been reached, trilateral agreements that have been reached, and reiterated the importance of further conducting negotiations in order to resolve the conflict. The clear delineation of borders, resolving humanitarian issues, etc., are all necessary factors to achieve a peaceful reconciliation between Yerevan and Baku. I have talked about this with Mr. Pashinyan, and we will continue to discuss those issues in our further meetings today. I share concerns of our colleagues who spoke a lot about the situation in Afghanistan. There's still a complicated situation there, and there are threats of various international criminal and terrorist organizations infiltrating CSTO countries. This risk is still high. There's a risk for terrorist cells to be created and activated in the territories of our nations. And so Russia shares the shared joint positions of the CSTO on Afghanistan. We need to identify terrorist extremist threats as well as drug trafficking threats and neutralize them as quickly as possible. And the special for this we can use special military special operations which have proven to be quite effective so far. Last week, I'd like to inform you that last week Moscow housed the Moscow format of consultations between Russia, China, India, and Iran, as well as 5 Central Asian states. The priority goal at this stage is to help form a truly inclusive Afghan government that will include the representatives of all ethnic groups. I will provide individual specific information about the situation in Ukraine. Colleagues, in conclusion, I'd like to thank Mr. Zas, who is leaving the post of Secretary General of the CSTO, and like to wish luck to the representatives of Kazakhstan, Mr. Tasmaganbetov, who is replacing him on this post. I'd like to also express my gratitude to Mr. Pashinyan, as well as all of our friends and colleagues who've done a lot of productive work during the presidency of the CSTO. I'd like to also wish luck to our Belarusian friends who will be presiding over the CSTO in the upcoming years. We'll continue to help improve good neighborly ties between CSTO nations.